What else do you see coming from the Leafs here? What do you think their attack is going to be? Because Treliving, he didn't really factor into the draft because he wasn't a part of the scouting process, and he jumps on. He signs Kampf. He brings back Pontus Holmberg. Okay, he'd know those players. I'm sure he's listening to people in the organization on that. But I'm still waiting for a Brad Treliving move here. What do you expect that to look like?
So why was Brad Treliving brought in? He was brought in not to sustain what has been there and what hasn't been able to find success in the playoffs, which is all. Hey, the Leafs are all about the playoffs. We know they're a darn good playoff regular season team. It's not about that anymore. So why is Brad there? It's because they're asking him to come in and make the changes that can push them further ahead come playoff time. So quite frankly, Brad Treliving's on the clock. And, if I just talking just now about the opportunities arising now with terms of trying to change your lineup, trying to add to your roster, that's what he's got to do. Now, I'm not going to suggest that he has to do it Saturday on July 1st, but you're going to run out of time if you don't look to do it. And I know he's looking to do it. He knows what the mandate is, but that's what he's got to do. And the blue line has to change, in my view. You just look at the teams that have had success winning the Stanley Cup, going deep in the playoffs in the last number of years. You look at the depth of the forward group. That's where it has to happen. And if you keep coming back and trying to do the same thing with the same groups, you're not going to do it. Just Riley Smith won a Stanley Cup, and the Vegas Golden Knights said, you know what? We need Barbashev more than you. That's a guy that's won. That's a guy that's won lots of playoff rounds. And the Vegas Golden Knights said, hey, we love you, Riley. We're moving on, and we're going to keep Ivan Barbashev. To me, that's what Brad Treliving has to do. I think that's where Kyle Dubas didn't realize what he had to do.
Mm-hmm. That's where, Craig, you've been around a lot of hockey people the last couple of days. And this is where, the difference between a lot of bluster and then the action. And before you came on, Brian was saying, everyone's had this big talk. And I've been, pounding this drum for a week saying, I think all hell's going to break loose. But it's like managers trying to find a way to unlock that because of a flat cap, because of either dead money in their organization. Do you still believe that, some of these moves will, trigger kind of a domino effect? Because I think there's a lot of new managers and existing managers that have a mandate in watching Vegas, march to the finals and win a Stanley Cup 6 years in.
Well, I agree with you. Okay, but let's take a step back. So did Vegas tell us how hard it was to make a deal? They go, wait a sec. We traded for Barbashev. Now we want Barbashev. Oh, sorry, Riley Smith. We're making a change. Again, everybody celebrates Vegas, and when it comes down to, where the rubber hits the road, how hard it is to make a move and how hard it is. Kelly McCrimmon didn't find it hard to trade Riley Smith. Mm-hmm. Opportunity lost for other teams. Kelly McCrimmon keeps his team in a spot where he says, we're not looking back, we're looking forward. Well, that's what you got to do.
How about the team that won the Cup 2 years ago? Colorado's been as active as anyone. We'll take this guy, we'll take that guy, we're on top of this, okay. And yet,
and wait for Tampa. Tampa's got really good players. They're not sitting idly by. You watch.
Yeah, exactly.
This is who you want to win. Don't tell me what you're going to do. Your actions will speak. So many I think it's part of the DNA of managers in professional sport. It's hard to be like Vegas. So part of it is saying okay, it's great to say, look at what they've done, but you got to be able to have that in your DNA to do it. I think Brad Treliving has it in him. I do. But now it's your actions are going to speak louder than any words.
Yep, it's go time.
See, that's I keep coming back. Then all hell should be breaking loose in the next couple days.
I'm with you on that.
I'm with you there, Doodles.